Cállate tú. That's picking all that up.
Is it?
Yeah, you're sharing all of that.
Yes. We're not lying yet.
We're live. That's it. We're rolling.
Let me see.
Mm-hmm.
We're not lying.
All right, guys. Welcome to another episode of Sibling Rivalry.
All
Let's
right.
talk about it.
What we're gonna talk about? The end of times?
Not today. Not today. We're gonna say to a more lighthearted topic.
Yeah,
Um,
lighthearted. That's what we're gonna
yeah, lighthearted. I want to talk about goals. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There's an echo. I can hear myself
do.
through your mic.
All right. All right. I was just checking to make sure we're live. Ooh, I like the screen though.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like you cleaning it up.
Yep.
So yeah, focus. Focus on our YouTube channel. Yeah,
Yes.
I like the banner. I love the typo. I got that SpongeBob.
All right. So this is
Yes,
our
yes,
live
yes.
scene. Something tranquil just to have in the background. I have to add our logo on here.
Yes. But it says be right back. But we're here. We're live.
Yes.
So how do you fix that?
I already fixed it. You'll see it in a moment. There's just a lag.
Oh, okay. Oh. Seriously? That's what you want?
No, wait for it. I pushed the wrong one.
Yo, you already fell asleep. Yo, apologies for the background. If you are now falling asleep, we should put a warning. Do not listen to us while driving. Yo, seriously, why do you think the background I fall asleep to every night?
All right. Your mic isn't coming in well.
No, it's not.
Nope.
Alright. How about now? Is it better?
You sound far away now.
Do I sound far away?
Yeah.
How about now?
Better.
Better?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay.
Yo, that's
Yeah, I
so
can
dope.
switch.
You set everything up so you have like your green screen already?
That's Zoom. Zoom, you can do background.
That's so cool.
So you just get a picture and you put it in and it does it for you. I don't even have a green screen.
That is pretty cool.
I gotta go for a TV! Where's the TV?
All
I
right.
thought the background was
So
gonna change.
it did change. Now it's this like a stream. We're gonna stare at grass
Oh my god.
and the water
Yeah,
moving.
I'm telling you, what you need to do is you need to find like an audio sync. So as we're talking, you see the bars just bouncing. You know, like what they do with music?
Yes.
That's what we need. But it's alright, we're figuring it out.
All right.
We'll figure it. We'll do something different. We'll figure it out. Yo, you saw my katana? I got my katana.
That's pretty cool.
Is it this? Wait, what side is it? I can't tell. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I got my katana. Woo! Yeah, man. So I got the call from work today, and they're saying it looks like the quarantine's gonna be to the end of May.
Wow.
Yes, they were like, "Let's get prepared. Let's do what we gotta do." And you know, I'm connected with you know who I'm connected with. You know my God. And yeah, they're saying end of May, which is crazy because the president, you know, he just pushed it out till end of April.
Yeah.
So now they're already saying, you know, end of May.
Yep. That's so crazy. Yeah, I was listening to our oh wow, that's sad. I don't even know who he is. Cuomo? What's his title?
Yeah.
Governor, there you go. I was listening to him earlier. He went live, talking about the progress with like the healthcare and what's going on. Because I have a friend up in Albany who said he's essential. He's working at a hospital. And he said that they're starting to move patients in from the city.
Yeah.
So I was listening to Cuomo, and Cuomo's like, yeah, we're starting the process of, moving patients and just trying to connect all the different hospitals. So that's one unified system.
Did you see the big ship that just came into the New York harbor?
No, I didn't. But I heard that they were going to be sending one.
Yeah, no, it came into the harbor, and then there was like a whole crowd of people around it.
Oh my
They all
gosh.
wanted to see it, and I'm like,
People are so ridiculous.
what happened to
Go
social
home.
distancing?
Ah,
Yeah.
jeez. Stay home. Watch that from somebody's cell phone. Because you know it's all over the internet.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. No, but yeah, it's getting bad out there. New York is um the largest infected area right now in the whole world.
Mm-hmm. It is.
And
Yeah.
yeah, we beat Italy.
That's
Yay, we
so
win!
crazy. Oh my god.
What do we get? We won. USA, USA. Yeah. So it's bad. So listen, if you're listening to us, hopefully you're at home and you're staying inside. You're being safe. You're looking out for your loved ones,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not being silly. You know, being out there when you're not supposed to be out there.
Yeah. And you're not being silly also when it comes to family, because
Yeah.
like having your mom come hang out, or having a friend come over. That's not social distancing. You're
No.
exposing yourself, you're exposing them. Like social distancing, what they want us to do is they want us to stay home.
Right.
Stay home.
Like stop going out there
Mm-hmm.
unless it's critical. Unless you need to go get food.
Yep.
Right. Stay home.
Yeah.
Medical equipment, medical supplies. Stay home.
So, how have you been? Have you been staying inside the whole time, or have you gone out? Have you ventured out?
I ventured out when I had to get stuff at Walmart,
Okay.
unfortunately, and that was rough because
Mm-hmm.
everybody's in Walmart,
Yeah.
and it's like and then I'm being conscious, trying to stay away from people. Like, come close to me, and people just right up on you.
Yes.
And like when I walk by somebody, I almost hold my breath. Like I'm like, no, I'm not bringing nothing you got.
You're one of those. Oh my
Yep.
gosh. So
Yep.
I stayed in a house for 2 full weeks. Because we did travel. We went to Puerto Rico, so I want to make sure if we did be exposed to anything, we don't expose other people to it. I didn't want to be selfish, so we had enough stock. We stayed home for the 14 days. Yesterday morning, 7 a.m. I went to buy some groceries.
Okay.
And there were a few people. It was a lot busier than a normal 7 a.m. In a grocery store. Usually, it's dead. Nobody's at the grocery store at 7 a.m. So I guess a lot of people were thinking like me. They were trying to avoid the crowds. And every time I passed someone, it was just the most awkward exchange ever. Like people don't even want to make eye contact with you right now.
Actually, I had the opposite. People were actually being courteous. Like if they say that the carts, they were
Uh-huh.
like, no, you go, no, you go, no, you go. It was like nobody wanted to like
Nobody wants to
get
bump
near
into
anybody.
anyone.
Yeah, exactly. And I saw people with masks and gloves.
Yes,
Here's
I
the
did
thing
too.
with the gloves. Here's the thing with the gloves. Everybody's touching everything.
Yes.
And like people had the mask on, but they weren't covering their nose.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And
what's
then
the
you see
point?
people touching things. Exactly. I'm like, what are you guys doing? That's it. I was like, you're fired. You epic failure.
Oh my gosh.
It's like Mortal Kombat was like fatality.
Yes.
that's you guys like fatality.
Yeah, but there's definitely a sense of worry in the air when you do go out.
There is, but you can't. I mean, you can't live your life like that though.
Not at all.
You gotta go. You just gotta be smart about it. You world have common sense. Like this world, I'm like, why is it that people are hurting for common sense? I don't get
Yeah.
it. It's like, don't touch things. Don't do. Protect yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But people don't think, man. People don't think. All right, so I'm gonna let you lead the combo, and
All
I'm gonna
right.
chime in because I'm gonna try to set over on my laptop the microphone so I can switch over the audio so that you can hear me better.
Okay.
Cool.
Sounds
Is
good.
it how's the audio right now? Because I'm going off of my Bluetooth headset from my phone.
The audio is a little shoddy. You definitely sound further away.
Yeah. So let me go ahead and see if I can switch over to the mic,
Okay.
and then I'm listening. Go ahead and talk. I'll chime in, and then once I have the mic set up, I'll jump into the Zoom with the other account, and then I'll go from there.
All right. So I
A
mean,
shout
I
out to
was.
Zoom. A shout out to Zoom though for having these apps, man. The Zoom app, I've been on nonstop Zoom meetings this whole time,
Mm-hmm.
and there's like no lag. I mean, it's a great app. It's a great product.
Yeah. I've had a few different interactions with apps like this, over the last weeks, just with different, parties I have to contact for business, for professional reasons. And there are a few apps out there, but Zoom by far is one of the easiest platforms to work with, and it's free.
Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, you got like Skype, you got the Cisco, you got. I know there's a few other ones out there, but man, Zoom is light years ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard their stock shot up too.
Nice. Good for them.
Who missed that one? Who missed buying that one?
Good for them, though. I do like hearing about, businesses that are thriving through this. And just in general, I love that positive energy, just, people succeeding. I want to help lift them up. I
There's
want to see
always,
other people do good.
when it comes to the market, there's always ways to make money. Even if you see everything is red and there's like a sea of blood, there's always ways to make money. You just gotta know human nature.
Mm-hmm.
So, like for example, the second a company comes out, pharmaceutical company comes out and says, "Hey, we're working on a potential cure for COVID." Guess what? That stock's gonna shoot up.
Yeah.
And that's all you got to look for. You got to know how to look for the right plays. That's it. Follow people's um, desires to make money, right?
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, I wanted to have this conversation today about goals. And I'm going to go into a rant real quick about what I was thinking, my whole mentality behind it.
Go
Um,
ahead.
so I was thinking, like, say, just follow my scenario for a few. Like you're unemployed. It's been about 2 months. Uh, you're actively looking for employment. You're going to interviews. You're trying to find a job. You finally get a job. Things move really quickly, and they're like, all right, we want you to start Wednesday morning. Cool,
Right.
great. You're feeling great, even if it's not the job that you wanted. It doesn't matter because you're like, wow, someone's giving me a shot. You're feeling good about yourself. You're gonna dress your best that first day. If they tell you to be there at 7 a.m., you're gonna aim to be there at 6:45. If you have that work ethic, that's what you do, and
Right.
that right there is a goal. And there are so many goals that we live by and execute day after day that we don't even think to label them goals. So for people who are struggling with setting goals and executing goals, like you have to start with where you are. You have to look at what you already do. Now, say you're heading to work, you leave early because you're trying to get there 6:45. You run into some construction. They're like, "Oh, detour." Cool. You're going to follow the detour. You're going to make it to work. You might catch every red light. You might get there late. But you're getting there. And that right there is a smart goal because you know where you want to go. You know when you want to be there by, and you can measure that. You can look back on it and say, "Oh man, I was late." Or, "Oh man, I was on time," or "I was early." That's the mentality you have to take when you're looking at your actual goals in life. You have to have a clear vision of where you want to get to, when you want to get there by, and the general steps or ideas of how you're going to get there.
So what you just said right there, as far as like the little goals,
Uh-huh.
those are your passive goals, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like the little wins are the ones that adds up, and they feel. Actually, those are like your foundation. So you could say your big goal is like, okay, we all want to be rich, right?
Right.
We all want to have a successful job. Maybe we are, trying to get, our dream home or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
However, those are active goals. Those are things that we're working to obtain, right?
Right.
But then you have your passive goals, and those are the goals that just day by day, like you just waking up every morning consistently at the same time, right? You say, okay, every morning I'm gonna wake up at 7, and I'm gonna have breakfast, and then maybe I'm gonna go for a walk. Now you're creating a pattern, right? Those are passive goals that you're just setting yourself to do every single day. Like you said, get to the meeting early, right? Those are things you want to do to feel those small victories because the small victories they add up.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And those are the ones that end up being your long term goals.
Yes, or
You know,
they help facilitate your long term goals.
they do. Yes, they get you there. Sorry, I got
All right,
distracted.
so go ahead and lead it because I'm still setting up. I forgot like
Yes,
I'm gonna put the
your
mic
audio is
on.
still coming in and out.
Yes, if
It's a
I
little
put the
shoddy.
but see my thing is I just realized that if I put the mic in
Hmm.
on my computer, I need to have headphones so that I don't cause an echo, right?
Right.
So I'm like spazzing out over here on my end, like trying to figure out where's headphones. But I found some. I found some. I got some. So I'm gonna switch this over. I'm just logging into my email so that I can switch over the audio.
Nice. All right, guys. So
Bear
whoever's
with
tuning
me.
in,
Technical difficulties.
whoever's tuning in, thank you so much for joining us. We're glad that you're here. You're listening to our rant. If you have any comments, please, go ahead and drop something in the comments in the chat, and we'll definitely get around to your questions, and we'll address it here on the show live. So goals. Um, do you know the difference between a
Well,
long term?
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this though.
Okay.
So you have we both have our side things that we're doing,
Hmm.
right? And you fell off. What happened?
So with me, I'm having a hard time with my goals. I'm creating goals and I have like a clear idea of where I want to go, but I haven't figured out how to attain my goals. I haven't figured out
Okay.
the actual steps to take to get to where I want to be.
Right.
And so that's why I'm trying to dissect like the little things I do every day to see where I need to tweak to attain the goals
Mm-hmm.
that I have.
So
And like
are you being wishy washy with your goals, or are you actually like setting yourself consistent? Like this is what I'm going to do, like obtainable goals.
see, I haven't set smart goals. I have not said this is exactly what I want, this is when I want it by. I have a very
Mm.
broad idea of where I want to go.
Okay.
And I'm kind of looking at,
You gotta fine tune it.
yeah, exactly. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm fine tuning it because right now I have an idea of where I want to go and I know what skills I have, but I don't know, like I said, just day to day where I'm going to be taking this.
Right.
So I was thinking about like long term and short term goals. So short term, personally, like, I want to eat better. I want to cook more meals at home. Now with the quarantine, I'm definitely cooking more at home, and it's a great feeling. It's kind of pushing me to do that meal plan I've been putting off. I just know that there's a lot of people out there that they're in the same position where, like they have an idea of where they want to get. They just don't know how to get there.
Right.
And
You
that's
heard
what
me
I've been
twice, right?
researching. Yeah. No, I don't.
You heard me twice on that?
Nope, just once.
Just once?
Just
Okay.
once.
I'm going to try to switch over.
Okay.
So bear with me.
All right. Well, the audio
Um,
definitely sounded better just now.
on which one?
When you were asking if I heard you twice.
All right. So can you hear me now?
Now I hear you twice.
Okay. So here we go.
Testing, testing.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Shoot, I can't hear you.
Oh no.
Keep talking while
Dun,
I figure
dun,
out what the
dun.
audio issue is.
Oh my gosh, just put me on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, first up, do
Next
we need
speaker.
goals? We absolutely need goals. And, as I was saying earlier, as I was explaining, you have to start with where you are. You already have daily goals that you crush on a daily basis. And the next step is realizing that you need to have that plan for the other aspects of your life.
All right. I can hear you now.
Very nice.
So can you hear me? And
I
do
can hear
sound
you.
better?
You sound way better.
All right, cool. All right, look at that. See, you don't look. Listen, when you are presented with a problem, you stay stoic, you relax, you don't spaz about it, and you just work through the problem.
You work through it.
That's what I did on my. That's what I did on my end. You know what? I was like, yo, we have an issue right now. I'm not gonna make a big deal about it, and I figured it out. You know, not jump through hoops. You break out your technical
Your thinking
troubleshooting
cap.
skill. Yeah,
Just
yeah,
put
yeah.
on your thinking cap.
Yes, yes. And you think outside the box and you
Yes.
figure it out. That's how
Hmm.
you do. You gotta figure things out.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer that you can do absolutely anything
Yes.
in
And
this life.
a lot of people with their goals, they tend to
Hmm.
have a defeatist mentality.
Yes.
They're already going in saying, "Oh, I'm gonna lose. Oh, this is impossible. There's no way I could do this."
Hmm.
Like right now with our show right now, we probably have nobody listening, and I don't care. I like doing this.
Hmm.
Like I generally want to help people. I want to go out there and I want to, help people avoid the mistakes I made, or if they made those mistakes, say, hey, it's okay, you can get out of it. I want to see people succeed. I want to see people, be better than, we're all okay, but we could be better, right?
Yeah.
We're good, but we could be great, right?
Yeah. And we're always learning. I mean, look at this whole situation with the pandemic where even our government, they're kind of like flying blind right now, and they're kind of making decisions on the fly, with the information that they're being provided. This hasn't happened before. In that,
No.
like we haven't reacted to a situation like this, on this scale, since our current leaders have been leaders. All we
Yes.
can do is look
And
back,
and
and all we
and
can do
it's
is,
easy to
what are
it's
you
easy to, huh?
doing? Go
Huh?
ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I couldn't hear you. What happened? My
You
headphones are
keep
connected.
interrupting me.
Ah, that's what you get. Go ahead, go.
I don't even remember it anymore. Go ahead.
What I was gonna say is that it's easy to criticize, especially during a crisis. But ask yourself, how would you handle the situation if you were in their shoes?
Yes. Yes.
Always try to look at it from their point of view.
And that's in
And
a
like,
crisis, and that's in your personal life too. Maybe in your
yes, with everything.
relationship, you and your significant other, you're having a disagreement. It's okay to disagree. It's not the end of the
Yes,
world. It's not the end of the relationship. You just don't agree on something. That's fine. You have different points of view.
right. But don't be so self-centered to not think about their point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Be able to kind of see where they're coming from.
Yes.
Now you could be adamant about your stance, and definitely don't break it for anybody. If you think you're right, then you're right, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your perspective, but at least understand where they're coming from.
Yes.
Even in the heat of anger, even if they're just irate, just try to see where they're coming from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, most of the time, if you're talking to somebody, you're on the same team.
Yes. Oh my God! And that's the programming that's going on in society right now with couples. Is that a lot of couples? Um, it's like a victim mentality that it could be, oh, woe is me, either man, woman, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Same sex. It could be whatever it is. But one person may have the victim mentality and be like, oh, I can't believe you didn't help me with this, or I can't believe you didn't do this, or I can't believe you didn't know. Instead of
Mm-hmm.
you thinking like that, and now you're taking the defense. Take a second and actually talk to your significant other.
Yes.
Have a conversation.
Yeah. It does not have to be an argument. Like just show the other person respect. Listen to their perspective.
Yes.
Allow
Have a
each
discussion.
party to finish their thought. Let them express themselves. Some people aren't good at expressing themselves like in the moment. Some people end up getting a little too angry, or they kind of shut down. But in a relationship, that's supposed to be your safe haven. You're
Hmm.
supposed to be able to feel safe to express yourself and say what's on your mind and what's on your heart.
You know what? Here's the thing, and I'm gonna say something that's gonna be extremely taboo. But
Ooh.
I'm fuck, forget it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Here I
Okay.
go. Here I go. Yo, you're in a relationship. It's not about you.
This is
It's about
true.
us.
This
It's
is
about
true.
us. And I'm sorry to say it, but a lot of people are self-centered in relationships. It's
Hmm.
always about me, 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 me. If you're like that, you need to get out of the relationship.
This is
It's
true.
not the other person. It's you. Dip. Simple as that. Like roll out. If you cannot put yourself aside and think about us in a relationship, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. I have a girlfriend who got married about a year ago. And even before they got married, like, I just looked at her relationship and the way she speaks about her man. And,
Oh,
I just, no, 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 no. I love it. There's just something
oh, okay.
so
I thought it was the other way. I thought she was
amazing.
like always
No,
negative.
no, no, no. There's just something so amazing about, a woman or a man who just respects their relationship,
Yeah.
and I think that's something that's missing. I tell her all the time, like, she's hashtag goals.
Oh, she's doing it right. Hashtag doing it right.
Yes, yes. Like, they're on
That's
the
what I like
same
to hear.
page. I always ask her, oh, does she want to have kids? And when she's having kids, because it's something that her family really bothers her about. And,
But here's
she came to an agreement with her husband. They were like, hey, we're not having kids until at least 2028.
okay.
Or whatever the
Just
year
threw a year
was,
out there.
whatever the year was. But, like, they're unified. They have those
Right.
conversations, and that's amazing.
Well, let me ask you this. So you said that she used to talk about her man in a positive light.
Hmm.
Do you think that she holds her man? I don't want to say on the pedestal, but does she like? I don't know the word to say, but does she hold him in high esteem?
Like, does she feel that way towards him, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes, I think she does.
Do you think that she kind of puts herself aside and she's standing not like competing with him, but almost standing side by side with him?
Absolutely.
Okay. All
Absolutely.
right.
And what they want to do, what they both agreed to do is, they both have their careers now. But when they do have kids in that 2028 or whatever year it was that they decided that, they'll have that conversation about it, she wants to pull back and she wants to be a mom. And he's all
Oh my
about
god. I got a big like cheese smell on my face right now because this is what I've been saying for
it.
like forever. And
Yeah.
nobody's listening to me. And you know what? It's fine. But you know what? Everybody's gonna end up being miserable.
Mm-hmm.
Because you gotta understand just your natural instinct.
Yeah.
And like a man, like I know women are gonna a lot of feminists are gonna hear this and they're gonna lose their shit. They're gonna but you know what? It is what it is, man. When you let your man lead, it's just you guys are gonna be like in the right place.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are gonna be in the right place, and you guys are gonna be happy. You're just gonna I don't know. You're gonna vibe right. You're gonna have that chemistry because you're not competing. You're working together. You're
Yes.
trying to build something special, and you know what that special thing you're trying to build? It's called
Absolutely.
family. It's
Mm-hmm.
family.
I couldn't
That's
have said it
what
better.
people are going after. They're going after our family. There's a
Mm-hmm.
war against family, and you know what? We gotta fight back. Especially in this time right now in this crisis when
Mm-hmm.
we're locked down, we're at home. Yo, now's the time for us to unite as family.
Absolutely. Yep. Now's the time for us to sit down and have these conversations. I mean, we're at home. We have plenty of time. There's less distractions. There's less, that feeling of everything is rushed. When
Yes.
during normal society, your day to day, like, everything feels rushed. You're just going through the motions, trying to make it through to maybe the weekend or, the end of this month. Like, I
Yo.
feel like as a society in general, we live in a very airy place where we're looking towards the future and we're not really focused on today and creating the future that we want.
Yes. Yes. And you know what? I'm giggling like a little kid over here because deep down inside, I don't want the quarantine to go away.
Oh my
I'm loving it.
God.
I am loving it. I finally feel like how
Hmm.
you felt when you walked away.
Yes.
When you finally said, you know what, I'm done with the rat race, and I'm ready to embrace me.
Something is just
Have it
lifted.
feeling.
It's just lifted.
Yes.
It's just like, oh,
Yes.
this is what life can be.
I know, and you know what? With the quarantine, I've been embracing family.
Mhm.
I'm locked down with my family, and there's no choice about it. So
Mhm.
you know what? I've been embracing them. I've been embracing, loving them. Spending time with them.
Yeah.
And just engaging back with me. And I love that you picked this topic as far as goals,
Mhm.
because now is the time. If you're locked down, you got nothing else to do. Now is time. Now is the time to face yourself in the mirror and say what it is. What is it going to take for me to be the person I want to be?
Yes.
So now is the time for you to get your goals and turn a negative into a positive.
Mhm.
And how do you do that? You could start taking on some online training.
Mhm.
If you don't like your job that you're working, if you're lucky to be working from home right now, you don't like your job, or if you've been laid off, take some training.
Yeah.
You're not going anywhere. You're locked down. You're at home. Take some
And there's
training.
so many free resources.
Yes.
I was having a very important conversation with my kids just before bedtime the other night. We were talking about intellectual property.
Hmm.
And so I just threw it out there. It's the first time they've heard the term. I was like, hey, what does intellectual property mean? And,
Right.
ages 10, 11, 5, they're like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. And,
Right. Right.
I was
Right.
like, all right. I was like, well, do you know the word property? And, my one was like, oh, um, property is either in math or it means like land that you own. And I was like, yes, something that you own, your property. I was like, do you know what intellect is? They were all like, no, no. I was like, intellect is, what you know. It's how smart you are. That's your intellect, how smart you are. So I told them, I was like, name something that you own that nobody can ever take from you.
Yes.
And they were naming off things. They even, they named our home. And I told them, I was like, well, I have a mortgage. So technically, I don't really own
Going to
this
the bank.
house. you
Yeah.
know?
Exactly.
Yes. And, I feel like I had such a powerful conversation with them. Like, I had them understand that what you learn, your knowledge, what you know, is the only
Uh-huh.
thing in this life that no one can ever take from
No
you.
one can take away from you. Exactly. It's your
Nothing.
brain. It's
Yep.
your entity. It's
Yep.
who you are. And to a, to a certain extent, it's your soul.
Mm-hmm.
It's who you are. This whole chemistry, this whole explosion that makes us,
Mm-hmm.
between our heart pumping, our brain thinking, our legs moving, all that stuff. That is your core you. And what you learn, what you decide to do with yourself, nobody can take that away from you.
Yes.
So if you got to pivot right now, pivot. Now's the time
And
to do it.
and in the technology age that we're in right now, all this knowledge, it's at our fingertips.
That's true, but don't rely on technology alone. So, like, I could say, hey, look, you know what? I'm in IT, go for an IT field.
Mm-hmm.
I could say that. I could say that 100% because that's what I do, right?
Right.
However, I can also see the times are coming. And if, let's say, the internet goes down, power goes down, the internet goes down, what is the skill set that you're going to need to get by in the next, whatever the next age may be?
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, people are sitting at home. They're still using their toilets.
Yes.
Be a plumber.
It's a beautiful thing. Toilet paper or
And
not, it's a beautiful thing.
plumbers kill it. And it's looked down upon. Like I actually talked to a guy once, and he was like, "Yo, I gotta change my field," and I'm like, "Why?" He
Mm-hmm.
was like, "Because it's not sexy enough." Girls, when you tell girls I'm a plumber, they look at you like, "Oh, that's nasty."
Yeah.
But I'm like, "But don't you have your money tight?" And he's like, "Yeah."
There you
I'm
go.
like, "And can't you like?" Yeah, I was like, "Do you have any debt?" He's like, "No, I don't have any debt." I'm
That's
like,
so
"So
beautiful.
what do you worry about? Like you're
Mm-hmm.
doing you. Like don't worry about that. Tell them just get a fancy name as far as what you do, and get a different type of title, and
Man,
nobody
you could
will
you could fish a title out of your ass. Like, it doesn't matter.
exactly, exactly. You know what a domestic engineer is?
What? A plumber.
No, a domestic engineer is a fancy title for a stay-at-home whoever, dad, mom. I
Okay.
stay at home. Okay, I'm a domestic engineer.
I like that. Okay, you know what? I'm writing that one down.
All right, so let me pivot. We got a question in the comments.
All right.
So we got China divorce rates have tripled during the quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
What is our take on that? I'm gonna
China's
let you go first.
divorce rate has tripled.
Mm-hmm. During the quarantine,
Wow, it's because people are stuck home and they're like, who the hell are you?
they gotta face each other. Yeah.
Yes, what? They're having
And this goes,
conversations and they're having downtime together that they haven't had in maybe ever.
but that's the thing. They're not having conversations
Mm.
because people are scared. People are scared
Mm-hmm.
to actually speak reality and say what it is that is on their mind.
Yes.
And that's like the worst thing to do with your significant other. Your significant other is supposed to be ride or die, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're supposed to be able to open up and tell them everything.
Right. Your mic sounds awesome right now, by the way.
Does it?
Yes.
Does it? All right.
Yes.
Cool. That's good because I dropped off of my phone and I'm on the computer right now.
There you go.
I like this. I like this whole setup. I'm digging this vibe right now. Like I'm not really like I don't see you, and I thought like we were gonna be offbeat because we don't have the cues to play off of each other. As far as like your facial expressions and everything, but I could kind of hear it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, with a significant other, it's something important that you have to establish from the beginning. You have to be comfortable with someone. And
Yes.
you cannot open up and be comfortable with a stranger if you're not opening up and being comfortable with yourself first.
Yes, and you know what? A lot of people they get into relationships, they get it's the puppy love phase. Yet nobody wants to go through the hardships of a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
They want everything up, 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 up. But it's like a roller coaster. You got to have your ups and downs.
Right.
You're two different human beings. You have your whole. You got to think about this. You guys didn't meet when you were babies, right? You
Mm-hmm.
guys didn't grow up in the same household, right? That would be weird. You guys have different backgrounds,
Mm-hmm.
right? You got different environments,
Different experiences.
different experiences, different
Mm-hmm.
friends, different. You guys are two completely different people that have made a commitment to have a relationship.
Yes.
So you guys have to now become one without losing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you guys have to communicate. If something bothers you, say it.
Yeah.
Like, why do we dance around here and be like, oh, you should know what I'm thinking? I'm not a freaking mind reader. Like, speak. Say what's on your mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even if it's something small that you're like, oh, I could live with it, if you keep saying, oh, I could live with it, sooner or later, you're not going to be able to live with everything.
Oh, you're gonna
Just
blow
put
up.
it
You're gonna
out
You're
there.
bottling everything in, and you're just gonna blow up on the most stupidest thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna lose your mind, and you're just gonna be like, why didn't you take out the trash? It's gonna be crazy. I'm telling you. Talk when something bothers you. Say it bothers you. It's like little kids. Think about how little kids feel with their emotions.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really understand their emotions, but they know how to say, "I'm sad." Why are you sad?
Yes.
Because you took my toy away, or something like that. Like they talk. So speak. When you're in a relationship, you gotta communicate. And I'm telling you, China divorces rates are gonna go up because China was first with the whole virus.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guaranteeing Italy's rates are gonna. Well, actually, Italy they like to talk. So I don't know about Italy, but you know what? U.S. Yo, here in the U.S. I'm telling you, yo,
Those rates are going to skyrocket.
your lawyers are gonna make out in all this. That's all I'm saying. They're gonna make
Yeah.
so much money.
Get familiar with Zoom now so you can go ahead and have your little online conferences.
Yo,
Meet
yo,
your
if
clients.
if I was a lawyer right now, I would so pivot, advertise. Yo, let's do the Zoom consultation. Your 1 hour is free for the Zoom consultation.
There you go.
Because I could guarantee that there are so many couples that are going to be. It's sad. It really is sad. But, nobody wants to talk to each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Like you're living in a house right now. You're forced to see each other, but you're not going to have a conversation.
Right.
Have an argument, You have an argument, but you want to have
Well,
a conversation.
because emotions have already been bottled up for so long that when something does come out,
Exactly.
it comes out in the form of an argument.
Exactly.
Rather
At
than
that
talking
point,
about it as
you've
soon
been
as something happens and then you're actually talking about it. You're having a conversation around it.
But what's the, all right? So let me ask you this: what's the difference between an argument and conversation?
I think with an argument, both parties are trying to prove that they are right. They're not worried about the other point of view. They're just worried about being heard, getting their point out. I think in a conversation, it's more of a balance. There's a back and forth. You're both speaking and saying, what's on your mind, how you feel. You're communicating. You're both having the opportunity to have the floor and, get across what you need to get across.
Right.
Feeling
I'll
heard
break.
is such an empowering feeling.
Right. So this is the way I would look at it. I'll break it down even easier than that.
Hmm.
In an argument, the other person is already the enemy, whereas in a conversation, the other person is a friend.
I like that.
And if this is your significant other, you got to realize if you're arguing with them, you're already lost
Hmm.
because you're already they're not you're not on the same wavelength. You're already you guys are combative. You're already that's a target, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if you were actually like said, you know what, let's talk about this later, and then came back and actually talk about it,
Hmm.
now you're gonna see your significant other.
Yeah.
You're gonna see the person that you decided to live with, that you decided to fall in love with, whatever it may be. You're gonna actually see this person, and you're gonna be a little more rational as far as being able to say, all right, I see your point of view. However, this is my point of view. Do you see that as well? Oh yes, I see what you're. Okay, let's try to compromise.
Hmm.
I know. I'm sounding rational right now. I'm sounding all calm, but I know in the heat of moment, oh, you want to get that chancla. You're
Oh
like,
my
oh, mira,
gosh.
mira. You gotta, no, listen. I get it. I totally get it. However, if you're passionate at the moment, you gotta let it go. You gotta walk away.
Yes.
But put a pin on it and come back later. But you gotta communicate. You can't just let it all bottle up. You can't
Hmm.
do that. You just can't do that. Not when you're trying to have a life with somebody.
And that's the thing. You have to make that your goal internally. Like, do you want to work things out with this person? Yes. So when you're angry, when you're in the heat of the moment, that should be on your mind. You should be telling yourself, I love this person. I want to get past this argument. You should be able to remove yourself to the degree where you can look at it from the outside, look at your own actions. Look at their actions, but look at your actions also and say, where do I want to be, tomorrow or next
Yes.
week? I'm
Because
pissed right now, but where do I want to go with this?
they're not your enemy. They're not your enemy. And you know what?
Nope.
If you need to take some time, walk away. Leave the house. Go somewhere. But cool off. Get back to your senses
Hmm.
and realize they're not your enemy. They're really not. If you're in a relationship with somebody, and this is why, like, I see it all the time like on Reddit. I go on the relationship advice,
Hmm.
and the second somebody blows off, the advice that people are telling them online this day and age is get a divorce.
Wow.
Leave, get a
Really?
divorce, leave. Yeah, the next time you're on Reddit, take a look.
Hmm.
Take a look. The advice is always get a divorce, leave. You gotta leave now. Leave.
Mm.
There's nothing about have a conversation, talk it out. What's the person, what's the other person's point of view?
Hmm.
Can you see it rationally on their point of view? And can you, with that understanding, convey how you were wrong and then, you know, express that message, but then understand their point of view as well?
Yeah.
It's a balancing act. It's really, it's rough.
It
It
absolutely
really
is.
is
And
rough.
if you take the time to get to know someone before you enter a committed relationship with them, you know, you're going to have so much more commitment to that relationship
Right,
because you're going to know that this is what I want.
right. And going back to the topic, which is goals,
Hmm.
understanding what it is that you want helps you achieve your goal.
Absolutely.
And so if your end goal, right, is to have a sustainable relationship with somebody, you got to understand what it is that you want and what you can tolerate. And it goes back to your boundaries, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it also goes back to communication as well.
Mm-hmm. I feel like if you're in a dedicated relationship, there's only a handful of things that you can't come back from.
Yes.
Like my top three is like don't lie to me, don't cheat on me, don't put your hands on me. Like we're not hitting each other. And I feel like anything else, like it's just a lack of communication. Anything else, like you can talk out. And if you're having these conversations early in the relationship, you don't have to wait till, now, you just took a pregnancy test and, one person's all in, the other person's like, oh, I think we should have an abortion. Like have these damn conversations. Know where the other person's at. Does that person want kids?
Right, and that should be from the get go. Like
yes.
That's not like, oh my goodness, hey,
let's talk about this like now. No,
that's not like a random Saturday evening event. Like, hey, where are we going for dinner? Oh, there's a band playing, and I'm pregnant. Like that shit don't happen like that. Like you should be on the same term.
Yes. Into that. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I think that's all our time for today. So just to wrap it up, goals are very important. Goals are going to get you to a feeling of success in life. If you want to be successful, you have to know what you want to be in order to feel successful.
Yes.
What do you want to do?
Start today. Write down your goals and understand that there's active goals and passive goals. So your little victories, your little wins in the day will help you get your active goals. But you got to start today and you got to write them down.
Yes. And writing them down is such an important step. Right? Most business owners don't write down their goals. And most businesses fail.
No, they do.
No. You see, now we need to do a screen share because I have to pull these stats up. Most businesses do not write their goals.
Most successful businesses do.
Okay.
Because they wanted to get a loan. And for you to get a loan, you have to go to a bank and you got to say, give me money. How do you get that? By having a business plan.
Okay. Most small businesses.
The same thing. Small businesses as well. You got to have a business plan. And what is your business plan? It tells you what do you plan on doing for year 1, year 3, year 5. And it breaks down everything as far as your competition, how much you plan on making. I mean, it's like an elaborate, documentation. But ultimately, in the end, what is it? It's just your goal.
You see, but you're thinking in the kind of mentality of what we actually went to school for, what they teach you when you get a business degree. I'm talking about an entrepreneur who decides to launch their own business. Maybe you have a landscaping business. Maybe you're a coach, a life coach. And with the way the world is now, most people are doing an online-based business without a business plan, without writing down their goals.
Because they didn't ask for money yet. I'm going off of what I saw from the small business website, SBA, when I just applied, for my grant/loan. And on there, it actually breaks down. That's a good website, SBA.gov. It actually breaks down everything you need to start your small business.
Okay.
And you're right. Most people just start and they go in because they're of necessity. You need to make money. And I get that. But how do you sustain yourself? How do you get yourself to that next level? Right? And Small Business Association, SBA? I'm guessing. But on that website, there's a lot of information as far as all the stuff we were talking about. And that's just simply focusing on today's topic, which is goals.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. We've had a great episode.
Please comment on your goals and what you plan on doing, and let us hold you accountable. If you comment down below and say, "Hey, my goals are this," we're gonna hit you up on it.
We'll follow up. We'll ask those questions.
What are you doing?
And we'll breathe that support into you. We're here to motivate you. We want you to succeed.
Yes.
We want to teach you what we know.
Yes, because you know what the greatest feeling is to actually see people coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Like we want to be there. We want to go up too. We want to, we want our YouTube channel to blow up. We want to be there. We want to see other people go up there too.
Yes.
It feels great to have the party, man.
Yes.
You know what a party? It feels great to party. I don't want to party alone. I want to party with everybody. So let's do this.